All right, hello everyone. This video is for Art Club, and to make up for the Art Club meeting we were supposed to have on Thursday, November 26th. We were supposed to have an Art Club meeting that day, and I had to actually make a quick run to my doctor to get a COVID test to make sure I was okay, and I was okay. It was negative, thank goodness, but it just kind of messed up our plans for Art Club. So I am making this video for anyone that doesn't want to wait until December 3rd. If for some reason December 3rd doesn't work for you, then you can use this as an alternative and still get to do what we were going to make. First, we're going to make this cute little guy. I've called him unicorn poop and rainbow poop. It actually has red in it, but the red's kind of hiding. But you can call it either one. He's really cute, and you can use any color scheme you want, meaning any group of colors. And we're going to make two little peas in a pod, and they're so cute. And so you'll need light green and dark green. If you don't have light green and dark green, you can get creative and basically use pretty much any color you want to use. And that's what we're making for this video. So get your clay together. For this guy, you can use any group of colors. I used red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. And then, of course, black and white for the eyes and the mouth. And then again, for these little guys, light green, dark green, and then black and white for the eyes. If you have the tools that came with your clay, those will come in really handy. If you don't, like if you bought some clay that doesn't come with some, you can always use like a little plastic knife or a toothpick or a chopstick or something like that. Okay, so get your stuff together and we'll get started. First, I have my clay. I have a red, I have an orange, a yellow, I have a little bit of green because it was already open, I have a blue and a purple. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up these packages of clay, and they can be a little challenging to open because they wrap them up really nice and tight. It's kind of like trying to get into a really hard package of candy to get into. Okay, so what I recommend for you is to get your colors that you want to use and hit pause on the video and unwrap your clay. And here you see I got it off of my purple. And of course, you throw your trash away. Don't leave it for your mom or dad or siblings to clean up for you. And then I'm moving on to the next one. And like I said, it's a little challenging. It takes some patience. So hit pause, and then when you're ready, hit play, and I'll show you what we're going to turn these colors into. Okay, so now I have all my packages opened up and out of the plastic, and I have my colors. Now, like I said before, I basically have the Roy G. Biv colors, the rainbow colors. But if you don't have the exact same colors, you can change any of these colors out for pretty much any color you want. All right, sorry about that. So now I'm going to take one of my little clay tools. This is the one that just kind of looks like a knife. And I am going to quarter these. That means I'm going to break them up into 4 sections. So I'll split those 2 pieces in half. And then I'm going to cut both of those in half. And then for each color, we just need one of these. So like I'm going to put it over here next to my green. And then I'm going to put the oranges, the rest of them out of the way. And I'm going to do the same thing with all the others. Again, cut the 2 little bricks that we have in half. And then cut each of those in half. And then just keep one of each of them. So I'm going to do that with all my colors that I'm going to use. So if you want to hit pause and do the same with yours, and I will finish doing mine. Okay, so I quartered all of them. I have 1/4 of each brick, basically. And I have mine in Roy G. Biv order: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. Again, yours do not have to be the same colors. You can literally use any colors for this that you want to use. And now I'm going to take each one, and first I've got to kind of warm them up and soften them up by squeezing them and squishing them and rolling them around a little bit. The colder the day is, the more you're going to need to warm it up. And then I'm going to roll it into a coil. That means rolling it out into like a little snake. So there's my red. And then I got my orange. And again, I have to kind of squish it and squash it and kind of play around with it a little bit to get it warmed up. Because if you're trying to do it while it's really hard and really cold, it is not easy to work with. So roll each of these out into a little snake. You want them about the same size. So mine's about the length of like kind of a short crayon. So I'm going to do that with all of them. So if you want to hit pause and do the same with yours, and then come back. Okay, so I have each of them rolled out, and I want to make them a little skinnier. And you can see the lengths are kind of all over the place. It really just had to do with how much clay you have. But I'm trying to make it a little skinnier because I don't want it to be too thick. And you want to move your fingers around a lot so that you're making it even. If you park your fingers in one spot when you're rolling these out, you're going to have areas that are kind of squished because that's where your fingers were. So you want to constantly be moving them back and forth and changing where they're touching the clay so that it'll be even. So I got my red, I've got my orange, and I'm just kind of putting them right next to each other. And then my yellow. My green. My blue. And be careful because they do stick to each other. You want to not have them touch each other until you know for sure that's where you want it. Obviously, I'm putting it in rainbow order. Again, you do not have to. Okay. And there's my violet or my purple. Okay. So now I'm going to trim these up a little bit for you because you're a kid. I recommend using one of your little plastic clay tools or a plastic knife is good. And I'm just going to move the extra clay pieces over to the side. There we go. All right, and here you could go ahead and just twist it and make it into a little rainbow if you wanted. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it into a coil that has multicolors there. See that? And then I am going to twist it and wrap it up. Think of it as like soft serve ice cream coming out of the little machine. And so see how I kind of twisted it up? And I'm going to make the end like that. It's funny how the red kind of got hidden in there. And that is my rainbow poop. You could call it unicorn poop or rainbow poop, whatever you prefer. You can make the end of it a little more squishy. And then you just make little eyeballs for it. This was one that I originally made right before Thanksgiving break. I was calling this one just unicorn poop, but mine got a little squished because I took it home for Thanksgiving break. And as you can see, it got squished. So now I've got my white and I've got my black, and I am going to make little eyeballs for my rainbow poop. So I've got my white. You can see it's a very small chunk. Cut them into 2 equal spaces. And now I'm going to roll it into a little ball. And with the white, you want to be careful because like if your table or your desk is really dirty, it will get all over that white. So there's one white, and here's the other one. It can be a little challenging working with some so teeny tiny, so be patient with yourself. Okay, and then I'm going to squish them just a little bit, but you also don't want them stuck to whatever surface you're working on. And now I'm going to get some just teensy weensy, teeny tiny little pieces of black. And these are going to be for the dark part of her eyes. Okay, and so now I'm rolling that out into a teeny tiny little ball. And then I'm going to put it right there for the eye. There we go. Hopefully you can see that pretty well in the camera. I can try zooming in a little more. All right, and then here's my other one. All right, and then I can attach that. You can decide which side of your poop that you like. I'm going to put the eyes right there, and oh my goodness, this is so cute. And look, that purple right there almost looks like his little mouth. And you could add a mouth if you want. I think I'm going to stop on the head because I think he's really cute. But if you really wanted to add a little smile, you could, any color you want. You would just roll it out into a super duper skinny coil. Shape it into a little smile. Trim it up a little if you need to. Just a bit here so you can see what I'm doing, hopefully. My big fingers are kind of in the way, but. And then I could add a little smile, a little cricket smile. And there is my rainbow poop. And again, you could do any group of colors that you want. Like I said, the one I made before Thanksgiving, I used these colors. Like I said, it got squished when I tried to take it home. And speaking of getting squished, especially since you're doing this at home, once you are done, then that would be a good time to get a grown-up in your house to help you bake it in the oven. Okay, and when you bake it in the oven, I'm going to look up the temperature for you guys, and I'll probably actually email the temperature to your parents because I don't want you to try to do it on your own. But what you're going to do is you're going to get a grown-up to help you, and you and the grown-up are going to take like a little cookie sheet, like where you bake cookies, and put foil on your cookie sheet to protect it, because this clay has chemicals and things in it you don't want in your food. So you want to put foil on it to protect it. And then set this little guy on top of the foil. You'll put him in the oven. And like I said, I'll tell your parents the temperature and the amount of time to bake it. And then the grown-up will take it out of the oven, let it cool off just like you would if you bake some cookies or brownies or something. And then your poop will be nice and hard. And you won't have to worry about it getting squished and ruined like what happened to mine. Okay? And again, you can try this out with all different kinds of colors. All right. Next, we're going to make 2 peas in a pod. So you're going to need dark green and light green, or maybe if you don't have 2 different colors of green, maybe you could use a brown or a yellow or something, or get creative with it, or just use any colors you feel like using. And so let me stop the camera for a second. All right, so I'm going to start off with my dark green, and you can see where I got a little bit of the other clay on it when I tried to take it home. I took everything home over the break just in case we didn't make it back, and we needed to have art club from home. And at least as of today, November 30th, we're back at school. And so I'm going to soften it up. I'm going to warm it up. I'm rolling it onto a coil. I'm not going to knead this in a coil. I'm just doing it to kind of soften it up, warm it up. And then I'm going to squish it up And what I want to do is roll it into a ball. You can roll it in between your hands like I'm doing right now. You can roll it on your table like I'm doing right now. Countertop, wherever you're working. Okay, so now I've got a nice big green ball there. And now I'm going to flatten it out. And be careful like doing it on your desk or your table because it could get stuck to it. And I'm shaping it. I want it kind of like an oval. And I don't want it too terribly thin. Think of it as like a tortilla, about the thickness of a tortilla. You really don't want to go any thinner than that. Okay, and so there, that will be the pod that my 2 little peas will go in. Here's what's left of my ones from before Thanksgiving. So you can kind of see the size there. They got squished also, so I'm remaking them. Now I have my lighter green, and I'm cutting them in half. I'm going to start off with 2 chunks about this size. They may be too small once I roll them into a ball, but we'll see. So I'm rolling them into a ball. I've got a little bit of the darker green stuck to it from when I tried transporting them, which was a big mistake. I knew it when I was throwing all of them in a Ziploc bag. I was not making a good choice, but I was in a hurry and wanted to make sure I had it at home. So I'm rolling it into a ball, and actually it looks really cute. So let me see how this one comes out. Because you want them pretty close to the same size. You can see what's left of my ruined ones there. I mean, I guess one pea could be a little bigger than the other because peas are not all exactly identical. There we go. Then I'm going to try. I'm going to put the bigger one towards the bottom and the smaller one towards the top. And then I'm going to kind of squish the sides up around it. Right now it's kind of like a little taco. And then I'm pinching the ends and shaping it a little bit. So there is my little peas in a pod. And then I am going to add 2 eyes. And you can have them more like you're looking at them from the side, up and down. I think I'm going to do it like this because I did this one when I did it kind of up and down. And now I'm going to make some eyes. So I've got my white, and I'm going to need 4 eyes. So I'm going to roll this out, and I'm going to cut that in half. And then I'm going to cut each of those in half. And when you're working with really small amounts of clay, it can get a little tricky. It sticks to your fingers and stuff. So try to be patient. Don't be too hard on yourself. All right, so now I'm going to roll these into 4 teeny tiny little balls. They're going to be for the eyes. So there's one. Again, try not to get it stuck to your furniture or wherever you're working. And I'm going to fast forward to finish making the eyes because you saw me make them with my rainbow poop. So you can hit pause to finish yours. Okay, so as you can see, I already added the eyes to one of the peas. But I didn't do the other one because I want to show you. What I'm going to do is take my finger and I stick the eyeball to it. And then that way I can just stick it right on the little pea. And the eyes are a little big. Look almost like little frogs with their eyes bulging out, but it still looks cute. And you want to make sure they're attached pretty good because you don't want them to fall off later. And then I'm going to make a little smile. I'm going to use this little tool. And I'm just going to make a little indentation that's like a little smile. So that 2 little happy peas in a pod. And they're absolutely adorable. And so again, that's what we would have done on November 26th. So then that way you can watch this video and you can do them on your own pace and on your own time. But be sure you share them with me in some way. Use the art show form, show me at school, show me via email. But like I said, I love to see how all of yours turn out. And remember, do not try to put these in the oven and bake them on your own. You always need help from a grown-up, because I don't want anyone getting hurt and having to spend their time near the holidays going to the ER, okay? So adults only for the oven, okay? And don't try to move it or take it anywhere until you do bake it, or you'll end up with a mess like this. So here's my trying to take things home when they're not baked yet little fiasco. So that's it for today. And our next art club meeting, we're going to have one on December 3rd still and one on December 9th. The one on December 9th is actually a Wednesday because that Thursday is my son's birthday. So, and then like I said, you could just use these videos. If you've just watched this video, you probably don't need to come on December 3rd because we're making the exact same thing. All right. So thank you, and I hope you have a great week.